So, we're going to try again. 5.8, we're solving equations with rational expressions. We already did that, but now we're looking at stuff that's more complicated. So we are going to go back to example 1. Make sure we give ourselves enough room here. 6 minus 2 over b equals negative 5 over b minus 3. Now, all of these are not fractions. How can we make 6 a fraction? Let's put it over 1. Okay? Let's look at these two things. 6 over 1 minus 2 over b, just the left-hand side. Remember how we wanted to cross multiply? Because that's super easy, and we're going to rewrite that note in a second. Okay, we can do that with this problem, but remember, in order to cross multiply, you need only one term on each side of the equal sign. So what we want to do is we want to combine these two things, but they do not have common denominators. On the left-hand side, what would my common denominator be? B. So what do I need to multiply 6 over 1 by to get it over b? B. So only multiply 6 over 1, numerator and denominator, by b. So what does that give me? That gives me 6b minus 2, right? All over b. Is everybody okay with that? Yeah. They have common denominator, so I just put the numerator over the common denominator. Equals what? Negative 5 over b minus 3. Already it looks easier, doesn't it? Yeah. No. Okay. So now we're going to use our trick of cross multiplying. Remember, you can only have one thing all together on each side of the equal sign. So we're going to use cross multiplying on this. Why can't we just... So remember, guys, that anything in the numerator is all in parentheses. So right now, please put parentheses around that. And this b minus 3 is also in parentheses. B is in parentheses and negative 5. So let's just put it all in parentheses right now to make things easier for us. Now to cross multiply, since I only have one thing on each side of the equal sign, there's no addition or subtraction, I can multiply these two guys and I can multiply these two guys. So let's write it out. 6b minus 2 times, what did I multiply that one by? B minus 3 equals b times negative 5, negative 5b. How nice, all those fractions cancel out. Okay? So now I want to solve for b. What do I need to do on the left-hand side first? Yeah?
Distribute.
Distribute, it's also called FOIL, or you can use box method, okay? I'm going to use FOIL. If you want to use box, use the box. So we have 6 times b, which gives me 6b squared. 6b times negative 3 is negative 18b. Negative 2 times b is negative 2b. And negative 2 times negative 3, positive 6. All of that equals negative 5b. And then what do I do? Yeah, we can combine like terms. So that gives me 6b squared minus 20b, because these guys are like terms, plus 6 equals negative 5b. And now I don't have all my terms on one side of the equal sign, so what do I have to do? We want to add 5b to both sides. So those guys cancel. So what do we get? On the left-hand side, I have 6b squared minus 15b plus 6 equals 0, because these guys cancel. And how do I solve for b? I have to do what? Now we're going back to unit 4.
Equal to 0.
It is equal to 0, so I have to start with an F. Factor. Okay. Okay. So what's the first thing I have to do here to factor? What's always the first thing we check for? GCF. Do I have one? I do. It's what? 3. So let's factor out a 3. So that gives me 2b squared minus 5b plus 2 equals 0. And then how do I factor this guy? Bottoms up. How did you know it was bottoms up and not diamond? Because there's a number in front of the squared term. So we're going to multiply 2 times 2. So that gives me, remember, bring the 3 down. B squared minus 5b plus 4 equals 0. And now can I do diamond on this? Okay, will you guys do diamond on it really quick? So what did you get? Negative 4 and negative 1. Okay, and now remember, in the beginning of bottoms up I multiplied by 2, so to get my answer I have to divide by 2. And 4 over 2 reduces, right? To just 2. Does 1 over 2 reduce? No, so we bring the bottoms up. And we get 3 on the outside times b minus 2 times 2b minus 1. All of that equals 0. Okay, almost done.
Can you distribute the 3 yet?
You could, but that would undo factoring out the GCF. So we want to leave it outside. Okay? Now what do I do? Because we divide by 2, because in the beginning we multiplied by 2 to do bottoms up. So we have to divide by 2 to undo that. We set each one equal to 0. So that means I'm going to set 3 equal to 0, b minus 2 equal to 0, and 2b minus 1 equal to 0. Can 3 ever equal 0? No, so we're going to cross that out right now. And then these are easy to solve for, right? How do I solve for b here? Add 2. So b equals 2. And what about this one? I add 1. So we get 2b equals 1. And then what do I do? Divide by 2. So in this case, b equals 2 and b equals? 1/2. Let's write that up here. b equals 2, 1/2.
Is that going to be like every single question you want?
No.
How many are those on the,
Okay, so Ellen asked a good question. Can I always cross multiply? The answer is yes. As long as there is only one, and I wrote term, but let's actually change it to fraction. As long as there is only one fraction on each side of the equation, you can cross multiply to get rid of them. Okay? So as long as you can get it so that there's just one fraction, you can cross multiply. Okay?